Hello, good morning. My name is Ifine. Welcome to this short tutorial of Microsoft 2016. I'm going to be taking you through different tabs and commands on our application Microsoft 2016. First, we need to understand what Microsoft Word really means. Microsoft Word is an application software used to format Word documents. And if you look at Microsoft Word, we have different versions, and this is the latest version so far in the market now. We have Microsoft 2016. Going to be starting with the file command, the file tab. The file tab, under the file tab, we have different commands. We have the info, we have the new, we have the open, we have the save. The save as the print, the share, the export, close, account, feedback, and options. Going back to the main command, we have the home command. Under the home command, we have the clipboard. Under the clipboard, I have the paste, the cut, the copy, the format paint. I'm going to be taking them one after the other. Now for an example, I have the word come, C-O-M-E, come, and then this word come is highlighted. Now if I highlight this word come, now one thing you should understand is this: whenever you want to format a particular word on your Microsoft Word, the first thing that should come to your mind is highlighting that word. And how do you do that? By hovering around the word. Now I've hovered around the word. Look at this, these commands, they're highlighted now, right? Now if I want to cut off this text, cutting a text means removing the text entirely from the present position. Probably maybe you want to paste it in another position. Now I'm going to click on this command, cut. That's going to remove the text completely, and it has a keyboard shortcut, Control X, cuts the text. Now I want to paste the text. Probably maybe I want to paste it on the line. I will simply click on my enter key, probably maybe twice or once, to change the line where I actually cut off the first text from. Now I'm going to click on the paste command. That's going to paste the text, and the paste has a shortcut keyboard, Control V. So that's how we cut and that's how we paste. Now I'm going to be working on the copy command. If I highlight, moving around, hovering around this text com, which is highlighting the text com, you see a command, copy. I click on copy. That means trying to duplicate the text, duplicating the text, leaving the original in where we actually copied it from. Now it has a shortcut keyboard, Control C, that's to copy, and then I'm going to paste, which is Control V, or I hit the paste command here, paste. So that's how we use the cut, the copy, and the what, the paste command. Now I want to quickly do a little formatting on this word com. And I'm going to bold it, I'm going to slant it, I'm going to bold it, I'm going to slant, I'm going to underline, I'm going to strike through, but we'll give it a color or something. Now if you look at this text, it's different from this other text com. Both are com, but they formatted differently. Now if I actually want this com to carry the formatting which this has, what I'm going to do is this: I'm going to highlight this, and I'm going to use a keyboard shortcut for this format painter, which makes it very easy and quick. I'm going to say Control Shift C. Control Shift C actually copies the formatting from this. Now Control Shift C copies the formatting from this. Now I'm going to highlight this and click on Control Shift V. That's going to paste the formatting copied from this into this. Now next thing we're going to be looking at is the fonts. Now look at the fonts. I'm going to delete this out. I'm done with this. Delete this out. Now still having my com as the word I'm working with. Now let's move this com to our right hand side so that we'll actually see what we're doing well. Now I want to use this. This actually means the font type. The font type simply means the look of the text. Now for this to have effect on this text, I'm going to highlight the text. Now if I highlight this text, I'll come down here. Any font I choose, you're going to see there is going to be a change on the text. So that actually means the font type of the text. Now it has a keyboard shortcut which simply goes like this: Control Shift and F. Control Shift F is the keyboard shortcut for the fonts. Now the first one will see the font which stands for the body. If I click on every agency, for example, agency FB, it changes the look of the text. Algerian changes the look of the text. Now we have font style. Font style by default is regular. Now, if I want the text to be slant in nature, italic in nature with a slant, I'm going to click on italic. You see, the text is slant. Now, if I want it to be bold, like a little bit thicker than it is, I'm going to click on bold. If I want to be bold and italic at the same time, I'll click on bold and italic. Now, if I want to increase the size of this text, I'm going to change or reduce. I'm going to change the number. If I click on 72, you see how big it is? Now, if I click on 12, you see how small it looks. Now, we're actually going to change the color of the font. That's the text color, which is also known as the font color. I'm going to click on font color. Let's say I want to use a thick red. It changes the text to a thick red. Now, we'll look at underline. Now, underline style, we have different underline style. If we have for words only, that means the word only is being underlined. We have different formats of underline, so it depends on what you actually want to make use of. Also, underlining, we can also change the color of the underline, which we used for the text. Now, if I click on underline color, if I click on the light blue color, you see the underline color has actually changed. Now, the next part is the effects. If I want to strike through this text, all I just need to do is to click on strike through. It strikes through the text. If I need a double strike through, I click on double strike through. It double strikes through the text. Now, this superscript and subscript, I'm going to explain that differently, and this also. Then I'm going to click OK. You see the look of the text? So that is what we have actually succeeded in changing the font type, the size, make it bold, make it italic, underline it, strike through also. Now I'm going to take off this word com. Now, for example, I want to explain the subscript and the superscript. Now, mathematically, we'll call this base. What we'll call this word? The power. Now, look at this. For example, if I want to have something like x, maybe raised to the power of, I want to make this text bigger than it is. I'm going to come here. I have 48, for example. Now I want to have a superscript. Now I'm going to be using the shortcut, the keyboard shortcut. I beg your pardon. Now one thing we should understand is this: that for every keyboard there are some keys on your keyboard that carries two different functions. So for us to be able to access the upper function on a particular key, we need the shift key. So therefore, I need to access the superscript. So what do I do? And the superscript needs my plus on my keyboard. Let me have my on-screen keyboard up so that you see what I'm talking about. Um, my on-screen keyboard is gonna come up soon. Then I have my upper key and my superscript, right? Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold my control key. I'm gonna hold my shift key and I'm gonna click on the plus. Now the plus is on my equal to key. Now for me to be able to access the plus, I need my shift. So therefore the control gets the command while the shift gets the upper function on that particular key. Then I'm going to type in my 5. Then I have x raised to the power of 5. That's for the superscript. Now for example, I want to take for the subscript. Let me undo the move. That's going to give me control equal to, why not shift? Because shift equal to is at the lower part of that key. Then I'm going to have something like 6. Then I have x base 6. So that's how we use the superscript, and we use the word subscript. Or you simply come here to click on it and then you get whatsoever you want. Alright, quickly, let's assume I still have my word com. I want to increase the text size. I could use this function, grow text. It says increase font size, control shift greater than. Why this is to reduce font size, control shift less than. Now I'm going to highlight this text and I'm going to continue to click on this till I get the actual size that I need. I'm going to continue to click on this as well to reduce the size of the text. So that is how we do it. We actually increase the size of a text or decrease the size of the text. Quickly, now this is a function that actually is a command actually found on this later versions of Microsoft Word. Now this actually changes the look, make your look carry a 3D effect. Now if I have this, it changes the look of the text, right? So it's just an effect on your text. I beg your pardon. Now the next thing we're going to be looking at, still highlight our text being highlighted. We're going to be looking at this. This is called the text highlight color. Now, it is a background color of a particular text. It does not affect the color of the text, rather, it affects the background where the text is lying. Now, if I click on this, probably maybe I want to make it blue, you see that? It affects the background where the text is and not the text itself. All right, if I don't want anything, let me grow this text a little bit. All right. The next thing I'm going to looking at is the text color. Now remember, the text needs to be highlighted. Now, if I want the color of the text to actually change, I'm going to come here. This is called the font color. I'm going to click on this, and any color I choose is what my text is going to come and add. Now, the last thing we're going to be looking at is this. This is used to clear all formatting. Remember we said Microsoft Word is actually used to format Word document. Now this is used to clear all formatting. If I click on this, it takes the text back to its original form. But one thing that is not affected is the highlight text highlight color. Why? Because the text highlight color is not a formatting on the text. I'm going to highlight this to take it off, go back to my text highlight color and click on no color. You see that? It's back. And I want to make us know, one thing I want us to know is this, that that by default our Microsoft Word comes with a font size 11. All right, that's for the fonts. Now the next part I'm going to be looking at is this paragraph aspect. Under the paragraph aspect, we have the first, which has to do with the bulletin. That has to do with listing. If I want to do any kind of listing, I could choose from the default bulletin template, or I can define a new bullet. Defining a new bullet, you could actually use symbols, pictures, or font. Probably maybe I want to use pictures. That's going to take me to my computer, or I will either online or offline. Now, if I want to work offline, I click on offline. Probably I want to use one of the pictures on my computer. I'm going to click OK, and it comes, right? So now, how do I use this? Let me return this back to, let's say I want a list. I'm going to click on this. For example, I want to make use of this. I have the word come, the first. I'm going to click enter, automatically updates. I have the second one, maybe John, click enter. We have the third one, um, um, Tacy. I'm going to click enter. Now, for example, let's assume I'm done listing. What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to click enter key again. It's going to take me back to the margin so I can continue my typing. That's how we use the listing, the bullets. Now the next one is the numbering aspect. I'm just going to choose anything I want. Let's assume I want to work with the Roman numerals. I'm going to click on that list. Number one is com, I is com, sorry, I is toad, maybe I is till. I'm done with the listing, right? But okay, let's say IV is you. Sorry, beg your pardon. I'm going to click enter. IV is you. Then click enter. It's automatically going to update that, but I don't need the fifth one. Now, for me to undo that, I'm going to click enter again. Takes me back to my margin, and then I'm going to continue what I'm doing. I'm going to delete this. I don't need that any longer. Now, the next one is the multi-level type of listing. Now we have different formats, level type of listening. We have for the articles, we have for chapters, and so on and so forth. Depends on what you want to do. Then you choose exactly what you want to do that. Now the next we're going to be looking at under the paragraph is the alignment. By default, Microsoft Word comes with four types of alignment. We have the left alignment. The left alignment, I'm going to be explaining them briefly. Left alignment simply means my text is going to start from the left side hand side of my workspace. The left side margin of my workspace, I beg your pardon, to the right hand side of my margin. For example, let me just hold on my S key. You see that moves from my left hand side to my right hand side. So that's what I'm talking about. Now, for the center align, let's assume that I have the word come, enter, go, enter, did, did, and I want this text to be center aligned. What I'm going to do, I'm going to highlight them. Remember, it has to be highlighted. Then I'm going to click on center align, and it has a shortcut, a keyboard shortcut, which is what? I'm going to click on my center alignment, which is what? My control E to center align. My left alignment is my control L, and my right alignment is my control R, And we also have, if I want my text to be aligned to my right, that means I want the text to start from the right to my left. I'm going to click on that, or I click on my Control I. All right. The next one I'm going to be looking at is the justify. Now, what is justify? Justify simply means the margin, the distance of the margin between my left and my right hand side is equal. That is what justify actually stands for. All right, that's for that. I'm quickly still having my com. I still have a com. I have my go, and I have my kill. I'm not gonna kill anybody in a way. I have my tell. All right, I have this text highlighted, and I want to close up the spacing in between this text. I have different lines. How many lines? One, two, three, four. Four lines. And I want to close up the lines in between this text. What am I going to do? I'm going to come here where I have my this actually works with my line spacings. Now I'm going to remove space after paragraph. If I click on that, you see what just happened? I'm going to click on that again. I'm going to click on 1.0. That's actually closed up the spacing in between the lines of my text. Now that's for that. Now the next thing we're going to be looking at is this. I actually want to, let's assume I have the word come, C-O-M-E, and I want to increase the paragraph spacing. Now we call this the increasing of the indent of a paragraph, and we can actually use this to reduce the indent of a paragraph. All right. Now this. Now let me quickly have some series of words. Maybe fill, kill, stay. I have John. I have Kella. I have Steve. All right. Killer. Sorry. Oh, let's have it like that. I'm just gonna leave it like that. Kelly. Kelly. All right. Now I have this text, and I want to sort this text alphabetically. All right. Let me have something down. Let me have. I have ADI. ADI. I have ADI, and I want to start this text alphabetically. What am I going to do? I'm just going to click on this A to Z that says arrange the current selection alphabetical or numerical order. I'm going to click on that. It's going to be automatically highlight the text itself. Now, how do I want to start this? Do I want to sort them by paragraph? Do I want to sort them by headings? Do I want to sort them by field? I want to sort them by paragraphs. So I'm going to click on paragraphs. Now, what do I want to say? Do I want to sort text? Do I want to sort numbers? Do I want to sort dates? I want to sort text. I'm going to leave it on text, ascending order as well, not descending order. I'm going to click OK. If you look at it, I have A first, and so on and so forth. All right. The next thing we're going to be looking at is this. This is called the themes color. Now, the difference between the themes color and the highlight color is this. The highlight color actually gives the background where the text is only a color, while the themes color gives the entire line where the text is located a background color. So that's the difference between a highlight color and the themes color. I'm going to click on no color, make it very fast. Next we're going to be looking at is this the borderline. The borderline is more or less like a table around a text. I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to click on all borders. You see that? If I don't want any, I'm going to click on no borders. All right. The next thing we're going to be looking at is this. This actually shows all heights, every formatting symbols. This is especially used for advanced layer tasks. Note that. I'm going to click on that. You see that? Check that. Now the next part we're going to looking at is the styles. Under the styles we have different styles. We have the normal style, we have the no spacing, we have the headings, we have the headings to title, and so on and so forth. Now um I'm working on normal. Under the normal I have this. If I click on no spacing, you see what happens. It's going to close up the spacings. I click on no spacing, I click on normal. If I click on headings, one, I click on headings, two, it's going to give me different. Now I click on title. Remember that the text, the font for title is actually different from the normal uh, text font. Sorry for that. The spacing as well. And I have for emphasis, I have for subtitle, and so on and so forth. Depends on what you actually want. There's actually this with the styles, your typing styles. Now the next thing we're looking at is the find command. Now the find command actually help you find a particular text, and you can use the replace command to replace the text. You don't click on find, it brings out the dialog box for me where I'm going to type in the text I actually want to find. Let's assume I want to find the word John, John. If you look at it, it actually looked for the word John. Oh, sorry for that. I'm gonna undo those moves. Oh, sorry for that. The little mouse arrow. Sorry for that. All right. Okay. I'll look for the word John. 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 You see that? It searched for the word John. Now let's assume now I want to replace it with something else. I want to replace the word John with something else. I'm just gonna have word John, John, and I'm replacing it with maybe Kate, Kate. I'm gonna click on replace all. It says, oops, sorry, um, fine, okay, calm down. Oops, John got deleted. Okay, I want to look for the word Kelli, Kelly. Now I want to replace it with Kate. I'm gonna click on replace all. It said we all done. We made one replacement. Let's check it out. Now if you see that Kelly has been changed to Kate. So that's how you actually use your find and replace. Now the next is select all. Select all the shortcut. The keyboard shortcut is simply Control A. I'm going to click on that, or I click on my Control A. It selects everything for me. Now still on that, it selects objects. I have no object here, so it's not going to select. Nothing is going to happen. All right. Now we have the next. Sorry. We have the next one still on the select. We have select all text with similar formatting. If you look at it, all the text here are of similar formatting. Now let's do a little formatting on the line, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we have those two texts. Let's see what happens. Uh, okay, reduce it to maybe increase 36. Now I have select text with similar formatting. Click on that. You see that? Select the text that has similar formatting. So that's all about the home tab and the different commands under the home. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please, you can like this video, you can subscribe to get more videos on Microsoft Word 2016. Thank you very much.